Map set, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Busan to start us off.
Yeah, and you got a control, escort, and then hybrid this week. So if you remember, we talked a lot about it week 1. Some of these maps will change in terms of map type because we are no longer having a 4 map set. We play all 4 maps. The first 3 will win a series. So you could not see Assault today, for argument's sake. If both teams were to win like 3-0,
Yep.
you could see it come later in the series. It'll change week to week.
On this map, maybe not as much of a Widowmaker option here for the Florida Mayhem, but we expect to see plenty of May from both sides. Blase was pretty public about the fact that he didn't want to be playing D.Va last year during the end of his tenure with Boston, I believe it was. So a chance to play something different here, a chance for him to show his skills alongside a new look Houston Outlaws outfit. The fire will be spicy from Yaki. I don't know if that's what we're going to be getting. This is kind of what you expected to see,
Yeah.
right? The Brigitte, perhaps?
I mean, we'll see if Raucus decides to play it. I think, the Ana we saw a lot more week 1.
Here we go.
You never know.
Oh yeah, the Brig is back.
So we do see the Brig for both teams. It's actually interesting. So no Lucio for the Florida Mayhem. They'll play the Brigitte instead.
Raucus here just trying to play his corners and make sure they're not flanked. His job is essentially to dissuade any flanking and also try and punish Karayan, who gets walled up. Looking at the top side, Yaki actually freezing Moomer up, making it very hard for the Outlaws Reinhardt to follow up on the enemy, and BQB finds a headshot on hydration here, so the May's missing for Houston. This is going to be just a one-wall game now for Florida as they approach the point, and Houston just try and rotate and use their shields as much as they can.
BQB finds a side angle there and is able to get that first pick off, but the Outlaws do control the point. Is Mayhem trying to push their way onto it. That'll be a second kill here for BQB.
Now for Houston, now it's a matter of stalling out as long as you can. Hydration's just about to arrive here on the May, but he backs away as he sees what's happening to the rest of his team. Houston do strike gold on the point first. Florida flip it back real quick, and there's some ultimates on the way.
You know, we haven't seen Brigitte really play in the Overwatch League in a while. So she gets a ton of adjustments. Now has 3 charges on the armor pack. Not as tanky as she felt before. Definitely more of a healer than, kind of like a tank plus a little bit of healing. So that'll be a nano boost at the start here that goes on to Karayan. They want to push the pace here, Florida.
Now Karayan looks like he got caught off early by the wall from hydration, so that's the response. They go for the nano boost to keep the Reinhardt vital.
All right.
BQB knows where they are, at least with Deadeye. It tracks their positions, even if it won't allow them to get any line of sight. There's a wall up. Houston are actually split in half right now as they're trying to approach the point. Blase attempting a Deadeye here. Had to be hastily shielded by Muma, but Jex has already fallen. Blase pulls a trigger and finds very little. Matt now trying to push through, but the Outlaws are down to half strength.
Yes, this has looked all Florida outside of the beginning as BQB will take out 2. They're going to push them all the way back into the spawn. As now you're walking into a lot of ultimates here. You have the self-destruct, Earth-Shatter, Blizzard combination here for the Florida Mayhem. Is Yaki trying to get to the high ground here and just play up here with his D.Va. This will force Meko to go up there and try and push them out of the position.
Again, D.Va can't really mitigate any of the freezing from the endothermic blasters, so it's a little bit dangerous to go alone, but there's no other choice. Wall up. Muma took a lot of damage early in the fight. The rally is going to get the Outlaws healed as they approach, but they need to get to the point. That's the shatter. Karayan goes down. Gargoyle also falls. Yaki's going to have to go for the Blizzard now, and Hydration's trying to work in from around the fringes, but Blase falls to 1 as well. It's a late Blizzard, but nobody from the Mayhem is standing in it.
And the Blizzard is big from Yaki there. He connects with 4 players. They all get frozen. Him and BQB able to put down enough damage to be able to take them out. So now we still have this self-destruct from Gargoyle. Clear out the point, potentially the nano boost for the Reinhardt. Keep Karayan alive if he gets split off.
2 walls up. The Outlaws at least able to get out of position. See Raucus trying to push Gargoyle to the side. Self-destruct over. Nothing for Meko on his first bomb with the Outlaws. And now all the shields are gone. Raucus and Muma are down. And at 99% on the clock, the Outlaws are in complete disarray. Currently, there's no way Blase can really get to the point. And Karayan fells him with a fire strike. The self-destruct almost just for effect there as Gargoyle remixed himself. Now JJoNak on the point. Meko now going to be desuited. No chance to get that one back here. And the Outlaws only really a token resistance in the stall.
And that is about as one-sided of a point as you will see. It goes 18-1 and kills in favor of the Florida Mayhem. So Yaki was getting a much better usage of the May walls, being able to split players off. Time after time, you kind of saw Muma and Meko on their own, they're trying to get everybody stabilized, the Outlaws, but you have both your tanks at half health. you're not able to heal them up. That's where the benefit of like having the Ana with the Brigitte there. I mean, you have the big healing from the Ana as opposed to running like Brigitte Lucio. So we'll see if any changes come through for the compositions for the Outlaws, at least here at the start. Looks like none. Possibly just a TP here from BQB to push them on forward and then to switch back to McCree.
Houston only got 1 kill last round to the 18 of the Florida Mayhem. It was only Hydration.
The Widowmaker here for BQB, so some longer sightlines. Potentially put it to use. It'll be very difficult though, like if the Outlaws like just kind of play well around the shields and just kind of don't give him the line of sight to make big plays.
Now remember, those shields not as durable as they used to be. Only 1,600 health on those. Karayan trying to keep his barrier up as much as he can, and BQB, this is where he's looking for a pick. When the fight starts to break down, he gets a glancing blow on Blase, but Blase fires back and finds himself 2 more. The Outlaws try and collapse here on Yaki, and job done. They'll be able to pick him up, and now there's not much BQB can do. He has to back away.
You know, BQB puts down some good damage here at the start, but it was just Meko just zoning him out time after time. Like every time he would get an angle to try and get a pick off on the point, Meko would just fly at him with defense matrix. He would have to grapple away, which gives them a huge advantage, the Outlaws, on the point when playing this McCree. Interested to see how long the Mayhem stay on this Widowmaker.
Well, they keep it for the infra site at the very least, and I can see Blase lingering over on that right-hand side of the map. Blase won't be able to do that in secret, and the timing there was just fortuitous for BQB, who've got a headshot on Muma. This forces Muma to keep his barrier up for longer, prevents him from going aggressive. Buys time for the Mayhem now to get to the point. Here's the rally from Raucus, the knockdown there, Muma, and he's slept. Everyone's leveraging CC against the right heart of the Outlaws, and Meko tries to dive the backline, but gets very little. Fired a grenade, stunned up. It had to be the Saebyeolbe to keep him inside of his mech, but it's worked well so far. Chris is down, charge in, and Karayan's removed by the micro rockets. Yaki's trying to cut through the remainder of the Outlaws. On the point, he's found another one. Now might have to back away. Hydration got the jump on him when it comes to freezing, but Yake ice blocks. Hydration. It's a standoff between these two Mays here right now. From the backside is Gargoyle. Self-destruct if he needs it, but BQB, this is where he can thrive late in the fight. But that Widow really needs to do more to pay off.
Yeah, I mean, once they start to get some kills, Florida, then the Widowmaker can become effective because you have to have Meko on the point there. In that instance, it's another good Blizzard from Yaki, right? It's like a 3v3 scenario at the time. It's a good Blizzard that flips the point in Florida's favor, but the Outlaws with a Blizzard of their own, a Deadeye as well.
And they're not going to waste any time.
Big biotic grenade.
It's sizable indeed. Especially Hydration not being able to heal that up. Movement now also needs to be tended to by JJoNak. 28-65. The Outlaws get an early lead in the Florida Mayhem.
The infra site here just buys you time, right? They're not going to push directly into this. They're going to wait for the walls to run out. Another good May wall.
Denied from Blase. Denied by BQB. Like CQB as JJoNak tries to run him down. Hydration has the Blizzard out already, but needs to make sure it's not eaten up by Gargoyle. Timing is very important here. The Mayhem still managed to stay together, even though they've traversed across a lot at this point. Let's see if they can block off this self-destruct. Chris has his own shield. He's fine. Tries to shield bash Muma. The enemy Ryan had his shield up. This isn't 2018. Chris just sitting back. Has a couple of repair packs. Needs to be able to see who he's going to distribute those to. Look at that. Muma didn't want to get frozen. He tries to charge away immediately. Now he's making around the wall.
Beautiful from Yaki.
Just hold him up. The Mayhem have been in control from 0 to 72.
And the angles that BQB is taking, you can see on your screen here from the steps, it's so much space for Meko to close, and then the grapple is still up for BQB, so he can reposition, and then you essentially lose Meko for, you know, 5-10 seconds, which is the difference in a fight.
Meko very low here, it's gonna be the play. Muma tries to go for the shadow, gets nothing there, and is stunned himself. Charges straight into the pillar, but Raucus is at least caught in the Blizzard. He is taken down. The 2-for-2 trade though now as Karayan holds on to the Nano, goes for the shadow, does knock Meko to the ground, and that'll get him out of his Diva mech. But Gangnam Jin late in the fight is able to get shots from the backline, and Florida look comfortable. They look confident. They look ready to rumble, and they are going to go into overtime here with just Muma trying to drop onto the point. Power drive there is just going to get completely blocked, and even the adaptive shield is hardly going to keep him up. Taken down now as Gangnam Jin will not be bothered too much. Hydration's Doom Fist, we were hoping to see it under some more sunny conditions, but it's not to be, and Meko can't touch the point. He's flailed away. Map 1, handily tied up by the Florida Mayhem.
Yeah, maybe it's not just some new colors for Florida. Maybe it's actually a brand new look, as they were very strong here against the Houston Outlaws in map 1.
Pleased with this one. Houston now Back to the drawing board at least. Coordination didn't quite seem to be there, but again, it is control. We get a different map type and another opportunity for them to get on the board. Just a moment. Early on. Keep it on that kill feed late in the fight. You'll start to see the Ana really do work. And Saebyeolbe comes in for BQB. It starts to make you think, all right, is it now? Don't we see the Widowmaker play?
Yeah, I mean, with the next map coming in, it'll be Havana. There's a lot of good Widowmaker sightlines on Havana, so maybe you see him play the Widowmaker. We know he can play other hit scans like McCree. So I think you probably feel more confident. Like we saw BQB play the Widowmaker, but if you're going to have somebody play Widowmaker for an extended period of time, or it's a crucial part of your strategy, you may as well put Saebyeolbe in. I like the counter pick though, you know, against the team with the McCree, provided the shields aren't in your way, you can really punish McCree at those longer ranges. Saebyeolbe is, in my opinion, one of the most impressive counter snipers, or, you know, sort of anti-widows in the league. It's a really roundabout way of putting it, but yeah, he's one of the best Widowmakers against other Widowmakers.
Yes, and I mean, we got a good example of why that's important when we saw Toronto versus Paris on Havana as well.
Yeah.
But Logix stepped up at the second part of their attacking, you know, half on that map, and started to really, you know, push his team across the line. That Widowmaker presence so important. This map especially, very long sight lines, especially in that last stage of the map.
I think as well, you know, if you look at the Outlaws team, Outlaws don't make any subs. The Widowmaker player that you would think of for the Outlaws traditionally is LiNkzr. Not in the lineup here for map number 2, so if they want to match it in the Widowmaker, who plays it? It probably is Blase. We haven't seen Hydration play like any Widowmaker thus far, really, throughout his Overwatch League career. Blase plays the hit scan, so you figure probably would be Blase who picks it up.
Blase, there was a player, you know, I feel like he's been around for so long, but we really haven't seen much of him, or much variety in terms of his picks. When we saw him play a lot of Brigitte and then a lot of D.Va. This guy's a DPS player.
Look, yeah,
he's always been a DPS player.
I think maybe towards the later half of the year, you got to see what like damage dealers were actually supposed to be doing, right? You know, they were really kind of thinking they were coming into the league playing a ton of Zarya, playing a ton of Brigitte. So I really don't think you got to see their potential towards later in the season. And even then, they weren't playing those heroes for so long that I don't even really think you saw their potential there. So I think now that everybody's had an off season, I know a full long period of time now with Roll Lock, with 2-2-2 in play, I think you're definitely going to see better performances from the damage dealers as time goes on.
As a chronic Carpe apologist, I also say the same excuse about him. You know, I had to watch him play Zarya all last year, and his stonks sort of dropped. But don't worry, looks like the road is clear to come back. Raucus seems to have actually somehow injured himself. Not seriously, just to be clear, but enough to elicit some giggles from the rest of his cohort and to delay the start of the match very slightly.
It's one thing with the Outlaws, like they always look like they have just a fun vibe on stage. Like even Toronto lost, they definitely are a team that can kind of keep the confidence high, keep the.
Oh, I need healing.
So yeah, it seems like we're getting the paper towels out here.
The Knights really are out.
Our first. Oh, I think he'll be fine. Looks like you just got to wipe his hands a little bit. I think he's good.
Raucus trying to eat a steak dinner in between maps. Had to eat fast, cut himself.
Excuse me, yeah.
These things happen. He is he's quite a foodie. Raucus is very much into his food. If you check out his Instagram, you probably see a little bit of those escapades there.
Like he's like, nice job. You've cleaned up. You're ready to go.
Well, meanwhile, Saebyeolbe had plenty of time to sit down and get himself accustomed to the setup. If you watch this guy, if you've never seen Saebyeolbe before, just be wary if you have motion sickness. He makes very fast corrections to his aim and has very high sensitivity, so it can be hard to follow.
I was going to say, if you've never seen Saebyeolbe before, clearly you haven't been paying attention to the 2 highlight packages we played of Saebyeolbe.
That is true.
You've already seen it.
Havana's up next. See him in action. Is that what you say to everyone who hasn't watched Apex?
No.
It's going to be Havana for map number 2. Enough blood is spilled on this stage. Now in game is where the rest of it's going to go.
Hey, look, Korean Contenders is on late at night for me, buddy. I'm old. I gotta get to sleep early. 9 o'clock's my bedtime.
Matt, I see you go for coffee at 9 p.m. You can't give me that.
That's the downside of living in the same building, I guess. You always know my whereabouts.
All right, here we go. The Florida Mayhem will be on the attack. So this Houston Outlaws composition is what we will see from them on defense. So they go for the McCree again. And look, and there are more vertical sightlines for a Widowmaker on attack here that, you know, definitely should cause the Outlaws some concern. They need to protect Blase and Hydration if there is an Ashe.
I want to see the Ashe. I mean,
no way.
Yeah, you kind of think that Widowmaker is just a better version, so you may as well just play the Widowmaker. So if you're Houston, you got to get really close to this cart and deny space, because if you can give Saebyeolbe a little bit of space, he's gonna find an angle.
Yaki comes out on the mate. He was on Doomfist briefly, but it was just a tease. Okay, so 2 players from the Outlaws are actually zoning Saebyeolbe on the right side. Meko has used most of his defense matrix to keep Saebyeolbe from drawing blood, and yet he's already chunked Muma down to half. He's taken strips off Blase. 3 haircuts, anyone?
And you hit a biotic grenade on a Muma, so it just kind of causes a little bit of panic here.
He's in trouble.
He's getting very low.
Karayan, though, keeps his shield up. He got a little bit low himself, but there it is. Eventually, the dominoes start to fall. With Muma and JJoNak down, the rest of the Outlaws are essentially dead to rights. They just try and stall for as long as they can. And they have struggled, honestly, Matt, to find eliminations in this series so far.
I think the difference, though, has been, you know, Yaki with the fantastic Mei walls, but I also think it's, you know, the Ana biotic grenades, right? You know, playing the Ana against a composition with the Lucio and the Brig, which Brig still has the Inspire passive, and then still has the armor packs, right? But if everyone's biotic grenade, I mean, look at these Mei walls that come in. The Outlaws always have to use their Mei wall pretty much defensively to just try and keep their players alive.
Look at how low Meko is, and that's purely because he's trying to keep tabs on Saebyeolbe.
And look at this space. How are you dealing with the Widowmaker up there?
Oh, man. A double Bionade and that payload. At least isn't moving for the time being, but the Outlaws have essentially split themselves a little here. Muma's out of position or has been forced there. Either way, it's not good news for the main tank of the Outlaws. Karayan now gets a lazy swing to deal with Hydration. And Houston really need to put it together.
And Meko goes to push out Saebyeolbe during that, because Saebyeolbe has walls.
Yep.
And it's a 2v1. It's Saebyeolbe and Gangnam Jin against Meko. They're able to kill him easily. And then on the cart, you still have your Diva in play and your Mei. You have a really good staying power, even with the Brigitte in that situation, because they have to play on the cart, the Outlaws. As they'll actually come out of the spawn and rally, try and get a defense here.
Yaki doesn't wall straight away. He saves it so he can throw the Blizzard down and then remove the wall. Still, the Outlaws unaffected by it. JJoNak gets into the back line and he gets rid of Saebyeolbe. That's the job for this Lucio man. With Yaki being removed now, there's not a lot of bite to match the bark of the Florida Mayhem. The self-destruct over the top. Shatter is going to secure the kill for Hydration as he couldn't get back behind Muma's shield. Blase sits here now. Gargoyle descends and covers most of that damage with the defense matrix. Karayan drops to a self-destruct.
Oh, and you may have been able to push that if you didn't lose the main tank there, as now as the players come out to spawn for Florida Mayhem on some different heroes, trying to get back towards the cart. But you had your main tank up, you're coming back on a Doomfist McCree, you have some open space, maybe you're able to make something happen. Yaki will go to Mei, so you get off of the Widowmaker now, you're going to play McCree here for the Florida Mayhem.
Saebyeolbe V Blase. A little bit tougher, I guess, for Widow to get safe, uncontested sightlines. Looks like Meko's doing his job, forcing Sire off that pick. Now only 1 minute. The Mayhem have to find something here, but it's going to be a sound barrier to start the fight. JJoNak is in there like swimwear. Muma has a nice off angle, but he holds the Earth Shatter for the time being. Meko a little low, though. Hydration also feeling the heat right now.
And this is going to be Florida's best chance. They're going to rally. They have a nano boost, and they're most likely going to get a Deadeye out of this.
Gargoyle wanted to play for the high ground, forced to drop down. Here's the rally from the Outlaws. Deadeye from Saebyeolbe. The wall protected him for the most part, but Muma needs to be careful on that shield. Sire's ultimate doesn't get anything. Muma has no shield right now. He has to play safe. He has to go for the shatter. It works. Yaki and Gargoyle are knocked to the ground. Now the Outlaws kicking into high gear. Karayan gets a nano boost. Blase trying to duel Saebyeolbe on the right-hand side, but thinks better of it. Thinks a bit more about keeping the rest of his team standing up. 7 seconds left in the round, and time is short. Rockets has found 2 kills, and Karayan is stunned up by the flashbang, quickly taken down before Gargoyle could do anything about it. Now in overtime, it's just drips and drabs. Yaki has to try and keep this going, but in a 1v5, it's gonna be tough. Only seconds to go, and the Outlaws, that's a much better looking defense. They looked in disarray early on in that round, but all of a sudden, the Mayhem only had 1 fight left.
you know, it's a slight adjustment that the Outlaws made towards the end of control. JJoNak was doing a nice job pushing out the Widowmaker on the Lucio. It's a strong defense there for the Outlaws. Not even a point A take for Florida. See if the Outlaws can even up the series after this.
The echoes of the battle that went down in the Wells Fargo Center of the Grand Finals last year still ringing through the streets of Philadelphia, and we're back here now in one of the most iconic buildings in the city. We're here at the Met, all done up recently, looking real nice. Built in 1908. Kind of crazy, Matt. Such a long-standing venue now hosting an esports competition like this.
Probably didn't expect that when they built the venue.
Probably. No, they probably didn't think that, yeah, when they built this, would be used for this purpose, but...
They weren't big-brained enough at the time, right?
Insufficient wrinkling.
Yeah. So, the Outlaws, they probably won't switch on the... They probably won't play the Torb here on offense. I guess it's time to switch. Saebyeolbe, though, going to be playing that Widowmaker on defense. That's why they substitute him in to play Widowmaker. The Outlaws do a nice job adjusting a little bit, right? It wasn't working when Mecha was going at him alone. JJoNak just pressuring out the Widowmaker. On the Lucio, just using speed, closing the gap, then getting towards him. Much more effective. Saebyeolbe takes Raucus's head off at the start of the game, so have a little bit of a wait here for him to get back to the Outlaws before things can start.
Bear in mind, the Outlaws don't even have to get to the first checkpoint on this map. Florida were prevented from even doing that. That's why that first half was so short. They don't have a long way to go, but they need to respect Saebyeolbe. Once you start to give him the opportunity, he will break a game wide open. Again, Meko is trying to deal with him one-to-one. He just got worked in the neutral there. Even the poison mine being used to get rid of the Diva.
But his team is winning the fight on the cart. I mean, that's really all that matters. As long as Meko just gets inside his face and doesn't allow him to just get those, like, cheat-free kills at range that you can't fight back against, you don't feel bad about giving up the mech, right? So, the Outlaws get the cart rolling. They'll push up a little bit. Saebyeolbe does get some good damage, right, getting close to walls, but all the damage is just pumping it into Meko, right? So once Meko gets his mech back, you'll probably see the same situation yet again. This actually is a better sightline for Blase, like in close quarters. Like, you actually have a chance to contest that Widowmaker.
It puts him a bit more towards McCree's ideal range than Widow's.
You're waiting for a mech here before you get aggressive.
Yeah,
for
there's
Houston.
no point.
Yeah.
Push cart, there's been no contest yet from Florida. I mean, Florida have to stay here for 2.5 minutes. It's just an eternity in Overwatch terms. Here's a dead eye from Blase. Not from the high ground. He dropped down. Doesn't find anything with it, though. The shielding was there for the Mayhem, and Yaki's close to a Blizzard. This could put the cap on this fight awfully fast. 2 minutes, 20 remaining. McCry's already taken down. He gets burst by the Outlaws. The 1-for-1 is there. Meko is down, which means Saebyeolbe has a bit of freedom to work, but there are ice walls and Reinhardt shields in the way, and he needs to find those picks on the Widow. Chris steps up, Raucus is down, shield protecting him from the Earth Shatter, and then the mutual charge. Not ideal for Muma. He was CC'd for much of that fight. And the Outlaws look so close to victory there, Matt.
And they thought that the Shatter from Muma was going to be the thing that pushes them over the line, because they end up taking a cry, and there's no Rhyme shield there. It gets blocked, I believe it's by Yaki's ice wall there. From his May. It's been perfect, really.
Early Blizzard from Yaki in that fight was important, for sure.
But still, I mean, you have 1 minute and 38 seconds to, you know, what, go 6 meters here for the Outlaws, so you still feel pretty good about their chances.
Perhaps the Outlaws would like to bait the Mayhem to drop to the low ground and subject themselves to the freezing cold of Hydration's Blizzard. Karayan will trade a little bit passively, but there's a wall behind him there. No charge, it's eaten! Gargoyle shuts down the Blizzard from Hydration, and that's what Houston was supposed to use to finish the map. Now, that's off the table. Hydration's in trouble. Saebyeolbe with a very tight angle with that May wall in play, and it looked like Meko didn't actually know where Saya was, or he had to back away. Either way, the Widowmaker for Florida is sitting pretty in the back.
Now you're down to 1 minute. They're gonna let Meko just exist here in the middle of the street.
Just exist.
Yeah. Man, and this is a pretty, I mean, for like a Diva stall here, there's not a spot where like Meko can reset and like jump out of the map or jump off the map. So lucky he's not just still alive, just kind of dancing around. Is you will have sound barrier here. Sound barrier going to go into Blizzard though, potentially Shatter. You can buy time with Wall, so this will be the infra sight here that comes from Saya players.
That's so annoying. The Outlaws, this is their fight. This is where they have to win it, and now they're revealed.
And we're going to get this down to the wire here, and you're going to have the Nano Boost Blizzard Shatter combo for Florida. Probably a rally during this, as you look like really good to get a hold.
You asked for scrappy, ladies and gentlemen. You're in Philly after all. You're about to get it. Blase goes down. The Outlaws are missing an offensive option here. And it'll be a long time before he's back in the fight. Maybe they try and stall, play it safe, get them a Cree in the mix. They're not going to be given a chance though. Yaki's trying to push forward with the Blizzard now, and it's a high fly and self-destruct that finds nothing. Karayan had the shield to block it off, and Raucus goes down before he could get the sound barrier from JJoNak. The Outlaws now pouring through their ultimate options, but they're running out of players. Blase returns to the fight. The Deadeye now gets to be used. Karayan's shield is taken down. It's a mutual charge between the Reinhardts, and Muma has to backstep a little bit. His shatter goes straight into the shield of Karayan. He's felled by the fire strike. Overtime getting low. Meko tries to step up, and he's knocked to the ground as well. Raucus flailing desperately in both senses of the word, with the Mayhem hold off just where it looked like the Outlaws were home free.
What a defense from Florida. The Outlaws as well. I mean, they had a great defense, but they are Saya player on the Widowmaker just opening up that last fight with that to Blase. The infra sight gives him a huge advantage.
Absolutely. Shatter's being blocked as well. Karayan looking really, really good on the Reinhardt against Muma in the head-to-head. We're heading to half-time now. The Mayhem up 2-0.
Just won't be seeing me rise and grind. I don't wake up till 12 as we finally get back into the game. So, Philadelphia has no allegiance to Houston or Florida. They just want to see more gameplay.
They want to see blood, Matt. They want to see blood.
Finally get back in.
Okay, again, Yaki on that May assignment. And look at this, Florida. Oh, wow, they don't need a Lucio to get past this choke. The Outlaws just let them in. Houston just want to group up before they try and push it with a speed boost now. Nice little wall from Yaki to try and prevent all of Houston from getting the jump on them. And the sleep dart on Muma is what lets them get away. Now the Outlaws have kind of lost the impetus, and that speed boost won't be available.
I mean, it's what I was talking about before, right? A wall comes in, the speed boost comes in, then Florida reacts because they're a little bit more reactive as a competition as they get a kill on a Blase here early. The nano boost on a Karayan as he goes over the top. But then they use their own Maywall Florida, and then they use the Biotic Grenade now with a nano boost to break open the point.
The Outlaws are having none of it. They are backing away immediately. They do have JJoNak alive, so there is potential that the Lucio could taxi someone back to the point, but yeah, they're going to have a crack at trying to stall this out a little longer. Okay, you don't want that, because now they're going to stagger. Not only have they lost the point, and the Mayhem are spawning closer, but Meko's back to spawn.
Because now it doesn't even really give them a great chance to be able to defend here at the gate. Florida, they can push on forward. We'll see what Houston decides to do. Looks like they're trying to back up. Maybe you can taxi Meko back, but...
Because he spawns all the way at the back of the map now.
The payload start to move through the gate, through the doors. Big fire strike there connected on the Muma, and then also a 3-player Biotic Grenade, so got to use some of those armor pack charges to heal.
Things still firing up here in Philadelphia. And the crowd still keeping it loud in this pause break. A lot of energy, and you're gonna need more of it over the next couple of days here, especially once the Fusion take to the stage. Currently, we're in a bit of a pause here. Map 3 in this series between the Florida Mayhem and the Houston Outlaws. Eichenwald is the map, and we're in the first half. Florida Mayhem are on the attacking side.
But I see a countdown under the pause.
Now the game's going to unpause, and Houston going to drop down. This is going to jump straight into the action, so get ready. Yeah, fire strike immediately on Yaki. Karayan hits the wall, and Muma finds the charge. Houston had so much time to figure out what they were going to do after they dropped on down, but there's still a fight to be had here. Raucus pushing in, finally getting to flex his muscles on this Brig a little bit more, but his shield's busted.
Hey,
Neko follows up.
Instead of trying to sort out the tech with their team, Houston figured out where everybody was, and they come back.
You know what they
Muma
did?
hits a big shatter.
They paused the game. They walked across the stage. They looked at where the Florida Mayhem players were standing, and then they divvied out responsibilities to each player. Here's who you have to go after. Easy.
And they grabbed the snack and then came back.
Yep. Yaki has a blizzard.
For the Outlaws on D with their own blizzard.
Then I from Blase, immediate wall and a back away. Nice response. I mean, you're trading a May wall for an ultimate. It's probably worthwhile, especially when you get a pick like that. What? Blase goes down. BQB was on the flank. He got onto the ramparts, and now he's starting to deal with Meko. If Meko can't push him off, then no one can in this situation. Double Blizzard goes down. Both Mays using those ultimates here. Gangnam getting rid of Muma, though. Even without the Reinhardt, the Outlaws are still pushing on, though. JJoNak got a good late sound barrier in that fight. Now just trying to keep hydration alive, but even his boosted healing couldn't do it. Back onto the payload, attempt to boot, but Raucus is low. He didn't go for the rally. And now it's just going to be stalled from the last vestigial members of the Outlaws. Keep this going. Get Gangnam will be a huge bonus, and they do. JJoNak chases Liana down.
Yeah, but you're going to have the May and the McCree come back here. For Florida, Deadeye just displaces some people off of the point. Then you're going to have a self-destruct from Meko that just gets his mech back. So Florida, in the end, will keep the payload moving here. The high ground now, the Outlaws are going to try and jump down and get on this with the rally.
And Meko trying to keep tabs on the rest of the Mayhem. They went through the castle. They tried to gang up on hydration, but a quick ice block keeps the Brazilian national alive. Meko from the high ground, but it's Raucus taken down by Gargoyle self-destruct, but on the high ground is Blase. He's looking for a bit of action now, but immediately Gargoyle sniffs him out. Great response time from Florida's Diva, and Blase didn't have the sightlines that he was hoping for.
And I was shocked at the beginning of the previous fight, how they were able to get that early pick-off, because all that they did for the Florida Mayhem is they ran Chris and BQB up to the high ground, and the Outlaws had control of it, and they're just able to get one solid pick-off. But you see this positioning that BQB is. He's going to try and get this high ground.
Blase, Deadeye. Meko busy dealing with BQB. And there's an ice wall thrown in the way. Shadow comes down there, and that was Muma attempting to connect. May have caught Karayan briefly, but it didn't look like it. The Outlaws now have a Blizzard, though. Cycling through those ultimates. Can they stop BQB, though? It has to be an ice wall. BQB, he's trying to see Raucus.
It'll be a big Blizzard, though. I mean, they got everybody packed in this corner.
Yeah. Sound barrier as well. Here comes that Blizzard. Hydration trying to get out of it, but he can't. Muma's also frozen stiff. Ice block for hydration, and his own Blizzard keeps him alive. Blase's able to back around a corner, but a shatter came in, and it was blocked. Great wall from hydration to keep Blase alive, and now they're putting all their eggs in the cowboy basket, trusting Blase with this nano boost. Nice little glancing hit onto the payload there, but doesn't seem like Yaki's too bothered. Blase, can he hide from this one? Yes, but it still trades out. One bomb each. Now Muma, oh man, he could have got behind the payload and broken line of sight, man, but he just got picked off.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to be able to push it straight away here for Florida. Karayan actually got frozen up there, which ends up taking him out to that self-destruct. Raucus makes the change from the Brigitte over the Ana, so it's the hero we've wanted to see him on all day. We'll see if this makes the difference. They'll still commit to this Lucio.
Blase is at the front of the pack here. JJoNak speed boosting the Outlaws in. They want to control this high ground. There might be a sneaky payload push happening on the bridge right now. The Mayhem have a couple players on it, so the Outlaws need to quickly transition here. They've gotten BQB and Chris. The Mayhem willfully split their team up to try and sneak the payload in. It doesn't work.
I mean, look, they get cart progress, but, I mean, there was no way they were going to sneak that one all the way through. I mean, a ton of area still to cover. Now, JJoNak will switch over to the Brigittes. They're going to go with a mirror matchup. So, this is what I've been looking forward to see the whole series. Like, have the Outlaws finally switch off of the Brigitte-Lucio competition, play with the Ana. So now you have the high ground, right? You have the advantage in terms of landing these biotic grenades.
Again, Houston have looked good defensively. Let's see if they can close the half out with only one checkpoint given to Florida. Deadeye for Blase as he drops down. This will buy a bit of time. Florida inside the castle. They want to go to the bridge. Raucus might have a pretty huge biotic grenade opportunity here if he knows how to play it. But Blase and JJoNak have gone down. This has gone completely wrong. The Houston Outlaws were trying to play together. They got pincered essentially by the Florida Mayhem, and now Muma has to make something happen with this nano boost, but there's a Blizzard there. That's two frozen. Hydration was inside his ice block and couldn't contribute to the fight. And Florida roll over the top.
Houston had the advantage there. And it's Gargoyle who touches, and they have 3 players on the cart for Houston. And he just is able to take out Blase, and he doesn't even like get D-Max 40 and himself. Oh man, what?
Matt is beside himself.
That was not good. And, I mean, do you have an advantage, an opportunity to get a hold here, like with how like this series been? You had the opportunity there for Houston. 2-player biotic grenade on both your tanks, so you're gonna have to heal this up before you can engage.
Look at Muma's shield. It's out already, and he was low. I think he was hoping to try and charge to follow up with the self-destruct, but there was no chance that you can get close there. Hydration, trying to be patient, using that shield of Muma's. He has a Blizzard ready to roll.
Rally here as well for the Florida Mayhem. We'll see if they decide to invest this to just try and push the payload on through. They actually are hiding Chris so he doesn't get caught potentially in this blizzard.
Or actually, maybe he was trying to shepherd BQB through for a bit of a flank. Now they have a crossfire set up. I think Hydration's going to have to pull the trigger pretty darn soon. Karayan frozen up. There's the Blizzard right at his feet. There's no way he's getting away. Muma countercharges to kick Karayan inside the Blizzard. They're trying to catch him. The Nano Boost comes in though. Muma's gone down. Houston's plan was to try and get the enemy Reinhardt frozen up, but it doesn't work out. Florida saw straight through it, and now BQB has the safest sightline he could ask for. Rolling forward now, the Deadeye on the payload, waiting for someone to challenge it. It was Muma trying on the wrecking ball to keep this going. Hydration drops on in a little bit of extra shield, tries to get a rocket punch on the way out now, and Raucus on the Muma in the back right corner, trying to make some healing happen with this Moira, but again, he's just switching towards the end of the round. Diana wasn't enough, Moira unlikely to do much more. Muma knocked to the ground there, and that was sharp from BQB to finish.
That's a map completion for the Florida Mayhem. In a spot where it looked like the Outlaws were going to get a hold before they took checkpoint B. Florida able to break through that. Then they combo the ultimates to complete the map. It puts Houston in a very difficult spot, as now Houston will have to complete the map and go into OT for an opportunity to extend this series.
And then attacking push on Havana really ground to a halt for Houston. They need to overcome the jitters here and make a big attack and keep themselves alive in this series. An ice block, that's something that team's looking to try and use as well. The earlier you can get rid of May, the much happier your team is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, May is just a nuisance, right? The ice wall to split the teams off, you know, the freeze and the slow, it's just a deterrent to try and push on through. Really good damage with her secondary fire with the icicles, right? A self-heal. May has a lot of tools that make her very difficult to deal with.
So, Matt, Houston are on the attack here, and they look very good on defense until they let the Mayhem finish the map. They gave them about half the map pretty comfortably.
But now we get an extended look at Raucus on the Ana. So this is what we want to see. The pre-game, May wall there from Yaki, trying to split players off.
Oh.
But Cryon will drop first.
Yaki trying to play from the side here. Blase has to back away quickly. Got given a repair pack though. The Mayhem are trying to make up for this lack of players here by buying a bit of time, but now they're split. Look at them, literally in 4 different directions the Mayhem are trying to play from. Karayan has just returned. There may be a chance for a touch here over the top by Gargoyle. It's going to have to be quick though. With BQB going down, yep, it has to be Gargoyle and Karayan here, immediately charged by Muma. Very aggressive play, and that might have actually worked against the Outlaws. Gangnam Jin and Karayan doing work. Gangnam Jin getting a lot of healing back onto his Reinhardt now, but Gargoyle was hit by Raucus's biotic grenade and goes down. Yaki close to a Blizzard. He could turn the fight around if he gets this ultimate off.
But the rally here from the Outlaws, plus they have a nano boost and things get a little bit crazy. They should be able to hold on. It's just Yaki on the point here. He puts up a wall, gets in an ice block, but he should be dealt with quickly after this. Split second as the Outlaws will take the point with a really fast time, 5 minutes plus on the clock.
A little close for them. I mean, back when it was Yaki, you know, Karayan and Gangnam Jin, there was an opportunity to turn that fight around, but Gargoyle got picked off and Karayan charged aggressively and got frozen.
I think the thing with Florida there is they would have had to make a crazy comeback in that fight because they're not going to invest ultimates there because they'd rather have them here to play far forward, right? So you get the Outlaws to invest a few ultimates, now you feel like you have a good chance on defense here for the Mayhem.
A lot of walls on the payload itself. BQB trying to wait them out, but Deadeye's duration just isn't enough to cover it. Look at this flanking angle. Look how he's being escorted by Chris as well. BQB always has his personal heal bots, and that's the headshot on Jexa. Hydration frozen. Makes a pretty looking statue. Unfortunately, it's awfully vulnerable.
Yeah, they do get a D-mech here, though, so Gargoyle's going to have to earn this Diva mech back for this next fight. I believe it's with the self-destructive Meko. He's not able to break the line of sight. So you won't have a Diva mech potentially for the start of the fight. So you'll have a Shatter Nano Boost. Raucus gets really low.
He may not have it for the fight.
Stay alive. Yeah, oh, Gargoyle probably won't.
If you see a Mini Diva here as Houston, do you just go forward now?
Not anymore.
Wow.
BQB from the high ground will take out Hydration. That's a huge loss. Big Shatter as well.
3-player Shatter from Muma. Is the follow-up going to be there, though? Blase had to back away. He just had the defense matrix of Gargoyle stuffed up his nose, and he couldn't make any shots. And that's frustrating for Muma. It is hard to find those big shatters when there's May walls and Reinhardt shields to navigate. You hit a big one, 3 players, and none of your team are really in position to do anything about it. Blase was 5 HP. He wasn't going to run forwards.
I mean, both Ryans getting pretty good usage out of their shatters here. 7 stuns for Kryan and 6 for Muma. So just seems like the Mayhem have been able to capitalize on those shatters a little bit better as they've gotten kills off of half of those stuns.
This is just ridiculous, bro. Well, shout out to the old green wall there as that comes up and blocks the Deadeye. 5 players got hit by that body grenade from Gangnam Jin, by the way, and JJoNak not a chance to respond. BQB hits him with the flash and a 1-2 punch before he could respond.
Gangnam Jin up on the high ground. He connects in that biotic grenade, like 4 players. Then Meko goes up to try and deal with him and gets slept. Crazy play there from Florida Mayhem's new addition.
I mean, they look
on the Ana.
I don't know, man. The impact of Yaki and Gangnam Jin coming in here, plus the improvement of the tank line for Florida over the break. They're looking scary.
I mean, look at this. Another 4-player biotic grenade. They're coming on in. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's just slowing down, right?
Stops
now
them in their
having
tracks.
to,
Yeah.
Now having to heal everybody out, back up.
The only burst healing that Houston have outside of, I guess, a body grenade is repair pack, and it's only a small amount. You need Muma to be healthy because he has to tank some damage. He can't be shielding the whole time. There it is, hydration taken down again. Charge on a Muma in this fight. Not looking good for Houston. They have to bring it back, and they have. Oh my! Muma swinging. Had the nano boost from Raucus there, so he's able to find the Fire Strike finish on BQB.
Oh.
He may get frozen up here though, Gangnam Jin. Look at him from the side, connecting every one of these darts.
Oh, I'd love to get a replay of that as he actually connects with a sleep on Meko when he's demeched after the self-destruct. And he gets him while he's in the Baby Diva, Pilot Diva form, and they're able to get a kill onto him. But he's still controlling the high ground so well on this Ana, becomes such a nuisance.
Man. And you're in a great spot here to play that aggressive angle and find big biotic grenades. That's why Houston has to wrap back here. Even though I quoted him, people are still going to think I said it. Get wrecked.
We're back. Version 3.
That
Meko still asleep. It's all right, though. He'll get back up.
Right. So you notice the Mayhem have split themselves a little bit here. They keep Yaki and Koryan. I mean, they can cover so much space with the Ice Wall and with the Blizzard. Blase from long range. Look at the brig. Dutifully, JJoNak comes back to him and keeps him shielded. Koryan is so low. Trying to keep alive are Florida, but it's a Fire Strike that eventually takes him down. Muma very low. Great reaction time with that Ice Wall to keep him alive, and the Outlaws get that second checkpoint. Florida in disarray there.
Yeah, as they try and use their own Deadeye, Florida, to deter Houston from advancing once the Blizzard and the Deadeye come down. Maybe just not allow those 2 kills to go down on the point, just buy their teammates some time. Doesn't work out, but now the Florida Mayhem, they'll have the nano boost rally the inside here. Maybe Kryan could hit a big shatter.
I mean, that time bank extension for Houston is just so big for them here.
They got to close it out, though. I mean,
That's
we're
right.
in this position on Havana.
And they don't have the ultimates ready to work it now, but 2 minutes is enough time to get them. Florida are allowing the payload to get quite close. They want to play around the corner, out of line of sight, and keep Koryan's shield healthy. Both Mays go for walls over the point, a self-destruct over the top. Muma will have the shield ready. It hits the chandelier. No harm, no foul as far as Outlaws are concerned. Muma tries to back up onto the stairs here. That's going to be the shatter. Blase got hit by that one, so did Raucus. 2 very important plays, and that's the Blizzard. And Muma can't get out of it. He gets caught, charged away. The Florida Mayhem have to use a lot of ultimates to secure that fight, and the Outlaws are encroaching on some of their own here.
It's the 2-player shatter, right? It just causes a little bit of panic on the side of the Outlaws. You get a Blizzard of your own, and you're in a good spot to put away the fight. How do you keep this going, though, if you're Florida? You use a ton of ultimates there, like you mentioned, and now you're going to have a Deadeye, a Blizzard. Muma will probably get a shatter rather quickly once the fight kicks off.
You need a good May wall. You have to split the Outlaws off.
This is the position we were in Havana, where the Outlaws had an ultimate advantage, and they were not able to break it. Biotic grenade, that'll sew things up a little bit here, but you gotta see the combos of these ultimates pay off here for Houston.
It's gotta be an Ice Wall to split Muma off from the rest of his team. There it is, that's the Ice Wall. Hydration goes for one of his own. Now it's time for the Blizzard. Muma did get stunned up there as BQB going for a Deadeye. He gets Hydration. A Deadeye from the other side. Blase doesn't find too much, and that's the shatter. Gargoyle and Yaki knocked to the ground. Raucus is able to find one in the meantime, and the rest of the Mayhem peel back, try and regroup. The payload's getting awful close. They need to be careful of boots. Gargoyle has to come up and challenge with so little health, and Muma's pushed all the way into spawn. There's a chance here for Florida to come back, and they push out in numbers. Nano boost on Gargoyle. because he was the player on the card, and now the Outlaws are down to 9 seconds remaining.
And you're gonna have Blase switch to Tracer and Hydration, bring out the Doomfist. Full-on desperation mode here for Houston.
Oh, the Blizzard eaten by Yucky, but still Muma goes down. 5v6, the Outlaws are struggling. One by one, they're falling here in the Florida Mayhem. They just hold out for a little longer. Only 3 players left now for Houston, and with Meko getting de-Meko, that'll be all she wrote in this map for the Florida Mayhem. They're looking confident with a shadow to come in to finish things off. They take their first series of the season 3-0.